Breaking news, the Wall Street Journal have released another report regarding Vince McMahon. This follows, obviously, the report that came out in the summer, which led to a whole series of misconduct claims against Vince McMahon, which led to him stepping down ultimately from WWE. It was huge, serious news. This continues with the Wall Street Journal article as well, which has brought new things to light. It's got there's some new information and everything, so we'll just run through it now, I suppose.
Yeah, we'll just have to say we're going to tone down our language just for this report because of the younger viewers watching, obviously, and because of the way the YouTube algorithm works and stuff like that. Yeah. I hope you understand, but we're not trying to make light of this situation. It's just the way things kind of have to be with us presented here today.
Absolutely. The article begins, Vince McMahon, the majority owner and former chief executive of World Wrestling Entertainment Inc., is facing legal demands from two women who allege that he assaulted them of a sexual nature. That's the language we have to tone down, according to internal documents and people familiar with the legal negotiations. In a November 3rd demand letter to McMahon's representative, a lawyer for former wrestling referee Rita Chatterton asked for $11.75 million in damages after she publicly accused Mr. McMahon 3 decades ago of a serious indecent assault in a limousine. McMahon has long denied the allegations. The demand letter was reviewed by the Wall Street Journal. Now,
should we say, for context, Rita Chatterton was a former referee for WWE who was let go in 1986. In 1992, she came out and said that Vince McMahon had done the sort of serious indecent assault in the back of the limousine, and she'd offered. She claimed also that she'd offered her $500,000 a contract WWF and sort of magazine appearances and this, that, and the other, and that's all that Vince McMahon has sort of been denying all this time.
So that's more information about the Rita Chatterton case that's come to light now via this Wall Street Journal article. Also, in a separate November email to Mr. McMahon's attorney, a lawyer for a former spa manager said that Mr. McMahon assaulted his client in 2011 at a California resort, an incident previously unreported in the media. The former spa manager alleges she was assaulted by Mr. McMahon in 2011 at a 5-star resort in Southern California while he was in town for a WWE event. The spa manager reported the alleged assault at the time to the resort, according to people familiar with this matter. So that's another new case that wasn't public knowledge before. That's now come
just brand new, yeah.
It goes on to say the spa manager also told her husband about the incident. Some of these people have said that she told her husband about the incident. He drove to the WWE event with a baseball bat and tried to confront Mr. McMahon, but was turned away, according to these people. Now, the woman's lawyer, Michael Bresler, has been in touch with Mr. McMahon's attorney since at least July, according to people familiar with the discussions, says the Wall Street Journal article. Now, that would have been around the time that this initial Wall Street Journal article came about, so I'm guessing that might be the reason why the lawyers were in touch with each other. The article continues, Ross, if you want to take over.
Mr. McMahon has told people that he refuses to pay settlements to Mrs. Chatterton. We're back to now. Miss Chatterton, sorry. We're back to now. And the former spa manager. People familiar with his comments said WWE's auditor, Deloitte and Touche, is it Touche or Touche?
I don't know.
Touche LLP has advised at the company that resolutions of the claims, even if confidential, would possibly have to be disclosed by the company publicly, said the former person familiar with the matter. Deloitte didn't respond to the requests for the comment, but the story doesn't stop there, Jack.
No, it doesn't, because on Twitter since then we've had a couple of updates as well. So that's all obviously legal stuff. We can't really speculate too much on any of that really. But what we can speculate on is how this might affect what we know, which is WWE and the wrestling business and everything. So Rebecca Ballhouse has gone on Twitter and added to this, saying Vince McMahon has also told people that he intends to make a comeback at WWE, saying he got bad advice from people close to him to step down, and that he now believes the allegations and investigations would have blown over had he stayed, which is quite a staggering addition to this story, to be honest.
But also pretty typical of what we saw from Vince McMahon, just purely from an on-camera standpoint. Obviously, when everything came out in the summer, what did he do? After not being on TV for a while, since probably WrestleMania maybe, he came back and cut some needless promos where he was just saying, welcome to SmackDown, we're all in this together, and then now forever and stuff, basically putting 2 fingers up to the allegations at the time. So it seems pretty much in keeping with that sort of mantra that he hasn't changed, despite the fact he has taken the step back. I guess it is also important to say that he still is the majority shareholder of the company, but in terms of the day-to-day running and all this, the creative decisions, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, Nick Khan, they've been taking care of all of that there. So it'll be interesting to see how things develop from here on out. It's baffling, but it's also not baffling because it's Vince McMahon.
Yeah, and from a fan point of view, we can, well, in our opinion anyway, it seems like most people seem to think that the product has been gradually improving since Triple H replaced Vince as head of creative. On the other hand, would you expect Vince McMahon to be able to see that himself? And
Absolutely not.
No,
and it's just not even us as fans just saying the product's improved. It's the wrestlers backstage. We've had so many reports in the news from people, just outlets all over the place saying how morale has just improved tenfold ever since Vince McMahon stepped way, and Triple H is coming with the new regime. So to see him come back would be very interesting, not only in terms of what we see on the screen, but what we hear from backstage as well. If it would go back to that old ways of people just seemingly walking on eggshells and not being able to breathe wrong for fear of losing their job.
One of those outlets that reported a lot about the improved morale was Fightful, and Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful took to Twitter to add a bit of context to this as well, saying numerous WWE higher-ups that I've spoken to in recent months have indicated to us they want nothing to do with the idea of Vince returning and are happy with the current direction the WWE is going in. I haven't heard one person there itching for a Vince return. Now, Sean Ross Sapp was keen to clarify after this tweet that he wasn't saying that people have said this knowing that Vince was thinking of coming back. That's quite a new revelation, but he just means the general vibe is that no, we don't need Vince back. We're fine carrying on as things are.
Yeah, that not only comes from the talent, but also if you look at the Q3, I think it was, the results of that financially, they're obviously going still in a very good direction. So having Vince back, because I guess that was a fear for people at the top of the company that maybe the wheels could potentially fall off without that figurehead that Vince McMahon was for 40, 50 years, whatever the hell it was, without him being there. But clearly things haven't gone in that direction and they don't need him back. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see who gets the way. Is it going to be the majority shareholder, or is it maybe going to be the rest of the company? We'll have to wait and see how things play out from here.
I remember us speculating at the time when the Wall Street Journal, the first article came out in the summer, and we thought this could just be part of the iceberg. This could just be the tip. There could be more allegations about to come out. Obviously, they have now via the Wall Street Journal. And while we can't speculate on like the legal issues, I suppose, they are grim allegations. Yeah. They're really serious, obviously. And even if Vince were to come back, I don't know after these two articles how tolerated or how welcome that would be.
It would. I don't know how he could. It's astonishing news to come out once again, and it's weird as well that Vince has kept a very low profile since all of this did happen. In the summer, there's been a couple of pictures at restaurants. I know he had his birthday. Was it his birthday or John Cena's birthday?
Yeah.
Somebody's birthday. He's been out with a lady. I think we saw a picture of her very recently. He's got the new hair dyeing and all that sort of stuff. So it's not as if he's, from the outside looking in, sort of craving for that spotlight and thinking, I need to be out there, I'm Vince McMahon. And
no, these were just private. They weren't public events.
Yeah, they were just, he's been snapped by the paparazzi, and that's all we've seen from him since the summer. So it's a very interesting turn of events, but it's been his baby for 40 or 50 years, so I guess that's where this sort of comes from, if you're going to try and speculate why he would want to come back. But again, he's the majority shareholder. Things haven't worsened since he left. If I was him, I'd just sit back and obviously just let things crack on. Yeah. It's not getting any worse, is it, without him being there?
It's bizarre, but I mean, we've always known for years and years, even without any sort of discussing any sort of allegations, we've always known one thing about Vince is that his ego is massive. Yeah. He's always going to think he knows what's best as a wrestling promoter, even if all evidence to the contrary seems to indicate that actually Triple H is doing an improved job on recent times.
Yeah, so that's all we know. It's breaking news, as we say, so please keep your eyes on cultaholic.com for any breaking news. Obviously, we'll be back on the YouTube channel tomorrow morning unless something ungodly breaks after hours this evening. So keep your eyes on all of that. Again, sorry for having to turn down our language. I hope you understand why we had to do that, but we just had to do that. Yeah. So thank you for watching. I've been Ross. He's been Jack, and just keep your eyes on stuff for this breaking, rolling news story. Thank you very much, and we'll see you later.